think there's a bigger part of this puzzle that people are missing, and perhaps that's why. Perhaps that's why it's very hard to find me. Perhaps that's why when I upload a video, all of a sudden I lose this and lose that. Perhaps that's why I'm always asking people to hit the like button 19th, and to share and to get involved, because I can't.
I think I might have fired you up, Jacob. It wasn't my intention yesterday, but I'll show you what I think connects with what I'm saying.
Do it alone, and because the system isn't helping me much. Not at all. I've been on here longer than pretty much everybody. And years ago, when they snapped me down and put me into the little timeout cage, a little shadow ban cage, I don't break the rules, you know that. I don't condemn people, you know that. I don't even say I know things. I don't have any special agent in the background. I'm not online with all the operatives from the CIA. You know, I don't, this is not me. I come on here and I just share my heart. I see what's going on in the world, and what's going on in the world is really bumming me out. Really bumming me out.
So I went through it for those 3 weeks, and I felt like it was just necessary to do for that time period, just for that moment. But I feel like everybody else who's been on his channel reads scripts, and they're all hired by him. And I feel like Stephen James is...
So I was talking about...
when he started, that first been on his channel, advanced ability to create apps and everything, like anything that, it just seems like he has the ability to do that and hire people, because a lot of people have been on his channel, and anybody saying that they are somebody, isn't the rule of thumb that they're not? Like Jacob Israel. You're not really Jacob Israel, but you took on the stage name because the one who hired you gave you that stage name.
I'm always asking people to hit the like button and to share and to get involved, because I can't do it alone, and because the system isn't helping me much. Not at all. I've been on here longer than pretty much everybody. And years ago, when they snapped me down and put me into the little timeout cage, a little shadow ban cage, I don't break the rules, you know that. I don't condemn people, you know that. I don't even say I know things. I don't have any special agent in the background. I'm not online with all the operatives from the CIA.
I just want to make it clear that all the things that he's ever said about me in the past, I know Robin's probably got my name in his mouth for every 2 minutes in his videos, which is fine. Actually just makes me feel important that somebody would take all the time just to talk about little Justin here in West Virginia, but
I've always felt the same way when people would focus their attention on me. Like, why? Why? So, with this video here...
So, you know what, I'm going to keep this. I got a video to make about the Georgia Guidestones, Georgia Senate runoff race. But I wanted to clarify this first. I'm a liar from the beginning.
I'm a liar from the beginning. You hear that?
So Justin Michael, are you ready?
December 12th, 2021.
Howdy, brother. I know your face.
Hey, Derek.
How you doing, man?
How are you doing?
So, I just want to make it clear that all the things that he's ever said about me in the past, agent working for Derek Bros.
Good. What do you think of all of this?
I wanted to go back to
this video here to show you.
Working for the inside. None of that's true.
All of it's true.
It's not even close to true.
It's dead on,
But
Robin.
nothing he says is close to true. So.
Another storm turned deadly last night outside the White House. Justin Michaels from our partners at the Weather Channel
really?
report.
Justin Michaels, huh?
what you were saying about cloud seeding for a minute, because
Need to repent so we can forgive ourselves. The Father judges no man. He's reserved that for the Son. That's you. It's not a guy that's going to show up on a cloud and persecute you. That does not reflect the Father. So let me bring on Justin. I know Justin, so I will bring Justin on.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, brother, how are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you, man.
Good to be seen.
Inside. None of that's true. About, being an agent, working for Derek Bros, working for the inside. None of that's true.
All of it's true.
It's not even close to true. Been a liar from the beginning.
He can't create anything. He can only manipulate. So
Right.
that's the genuine understanding of the Jezebel spirit: manipulation, conniving, and trying to destroy. But please, don't judge people in these spirits. Pray for them, but make your boundaries, make them wide, make them tall. But Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. They don't. People fall out. We fall out of the spirit. I've done it.
So what am I trying to say? Just because somebody's on Derek Bros' show that they're an agent?
Robin, what do you think of all of this? Have you paid attention to the weather manipulation? Is that something that you've I know that you've focused on some other things. You've focused on finding Anki and Enlil and Enoch and Elijah and you've discovered some very realistic things. I'll just tell you.
Yeah. Well,
I don't even say I know things. I don't have any special agent in the background. I'm not online with all the operatives from the CIA. I don't.
You can't even make this stuff up. Where
Now, do you see? I got myself a new Learjet. You saw that, didn't you? We got the V. It's like you see these playbooks played over and over again. We were cheering on when they were destroying these villages, and they were doing them. Right? Yeah. Like, what is the difference over there? If we were. If it was in the villages, it's because everybody and social media now is a huge part of this. TikTok is all over the place. People saying, even the sky is with Ukraine and showing them.
When I think about YouTube University and the people, everybody that I've ever come across, or anybody who's I've come against or has come against me.
YouTube University. 12 hours ago.
You find it strange that anti-communist rhetoric is not allowed on a college campus. It's very strange to me. All of this stuff. Once again,
like Jacob Israel. You're not really Jacob Israel, but you took on the stage name because the one who hired you gave you that stage name.
I'm not like the other channels that Google doesn't hide. I'm not going to condemn someone and attack someone for believing they are who they are. I'm going to talk to people.
And like I was saying at the beginning of this video, when he's saying he's King David and Yeshua and Yahashua and Yamalak and Shamalak and all those names and everything, and Moses and Elijah, and if anybody's saying that they are somebody, isn't the rule of thumb that they're not?
I'm not going to condemn someone and attack someone for believing they are who they are.
Is this an attack? Is everything that I'm saying true, or an accusation because there's no evidence that it is true?
So I guess,
because on the other hand, in no particular order, I'll point out people who I think they are playing in the actual world script between Peter, John, and James and Jesus. I believe
for 10 hours straight.
Good afternoon,
because he
friends. Stephen
records his
Benoon
live
here
show.
with
No, but he does amazing.
Live,
Yeah,
and
he
we're
records
going
a
to
different
be
segment. He records it all live. Then he takes it
well,
down. You don't get to watch it replay live.
We're looking at this from a biblical
been shut down.
To
right.
get these vids out.
Oh, well, maybe he's going to say that it got a strike on the other channel and they took everything, but they can't. Telling everybody about for over. Well, maybe he's going to say that it got a strike. So this is Stephen James DeShawn right here. This is the guy I've been telling everybody about for over a year and a half.
that video is published July 31st, 2019. 2018, the beginning of 2018 is when I came across Stephen James DeShawn. Well, actually, you came in my direction with a bunch of people that you seem to have known the entire time. And so between Peter, John, James, and Jesus in this system, I think that there's the four right there. I think there are the four that are playing it. Which one's which? Everyone can make a case to be either one, and that's what's been so confusing when I try to find the people that are involved with playing out the end time prophecy. And obviously all four have shown me their authority and their ability to get things done in this planet. So I focus in on them the most. And I feel like they are at the highest level in their field of what they are doing with people underneath of them. So I focus in on all four of those. And then others as well, because it seems like more people know what's going on from the inside, and why wouldn't I pay attention to those people? But if anything that I'm saying is true, and it sounds like a judgment, well, only the people that I'm talking about are going to know whether or not that's true. Therefore, it's just truth, right? Then, so this is Jesus before Pilate. Then you are a king, Pilate said. You say that I am a king, Jesus answered. For this reason I was born and have come into the world to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice. What is truth? Pilate asked. And having said this, he went out again to the Jews and told them, I find no basis for a charge against him. But it is your custom that I release to you one prisoner at the Passover, so then do you want me to release to you the king of the Jews? So what is truth? Well, truth is something that can get you killed. if you speak the truth, you can die for that. That's why a lot of people lie, because they're part of something that they can't tell you the truth. And it's the thing that I've learned to understand, because I came in from the outside, minding everybody else's business. There was a script being played out, there still is, and there's a lot of people involved, and nobody can actually speak the actual truth about their role, because they might die. So I get it. Your life is at stake. But what I've been saying is, the people who are running your life, the ones that hired you, the ones that have you in their pocket, this is the time where people have repented and changed from doing what they're so used to doing with their first initial thought, not thinking twice about anything, because there's no reason to. I try to give people a reason to think twice about things. I'm not afraid of what can possibly happen to me, regardless if I die. Truly, because no matter what, when you die, your spirit goes to heaven, or does it go to hell? It depends on what you've done in your life. But your spirit itself, your mind, your memory, how can your memory be taken from a dead body into a glorified body and go to heaven? Well, it happens within your spirit. Your spirit is taken. Whether that's literal, which I believe it is, and spiritual, because regardless of which way it is that when you die, how you continue to live, whether you're in your body still until they take you out of your body, because at a certain point, maybe people just died and they were left for dead, and that's their tomb, and that's where they stayed for the rest of eternity, is stuck. And maybe the God of the earth and the heavens, the alien technology, is able to pop you off and put you in another body, whether it's a plug or the head or skull or the brain or your torso. It can happen. So regardless, whichever way it works, I know that as soon as I die out of this flesh bag, I am free. However long it takes to be tortured to death, then I will, at least with every agonizing pain, I would know I'm almost home. And I truly believe in that. When my body dies, I'm going on to heaven in another body. And I'm going to look down at the earth and say, wow, I used to live down there, when I was alive, but on earth. So that's what you guys up there already experience. And I'm just explaining what you have shown me that truly does go on in this planet, which is people up there, they already died. They possibly have YouTube channels. They literally already died. They're in a different body. They're in their eternal body. They don't die anymore. But they can get into a different suit, look like a man, have hair like a woman. And it's not the same for animals, because animals don't have like Lucky. He's buried out back. Nobody came by and popped his brain out and soul and put him in a new kitty cat body up in heaven. So whether animals move on too in the spirit world, I don't think they do. I think humans move on, and it's more literal than what you could ever have imagined. You die, you go to heaven, and the world still exists. And the people that you just left are still there. You're wide awake. You're consciously aware. You're in a new body. You're up in heaven. And you're looking at the earth where you just came from. It's not a drift off into spirit world like I thought it was. I believe more now that it's just a literal taking out. But even if it's the spirit, and even if it's nothing, and I die, all right, well, at least I didn't live my life thinking there was nothing, like a lot of people do. They don't believe that there's another next part of you. This is just the beginning of, yeah, it's a shit life because you're in the flesh and you live, whatever, and you don't have everything at your fingertips, and you struggle, or you're just a regular person trying to make ends meet. That sucks. But this is just the beginning. And when you're finally released as a prisoner out of this suit, guaranteed Jonathan Kleck has already been through it.
These are all windows of stuff that I'm adding to organize one folder to just show you.
Like, came from literal heaven already, because you've already lived your life on earth. And maybe you had a parachute accident, and maybe you bounced and died. And then you went up, they took you out, put you in your new body. You're wearing a mask suit. Right here is a disguise. But I don't have any proof of this. And when I say these things, it's not a judgment. It's not like a condemnation. It's just my perception of what I'm learning. And I've learned to speak it out loud because others are willing to elaborate on the things that I'm saying that are actually true. But there's no proof of that. There's no way of, because nobody has told me, and everybody who's in surveillance knows that I don't talk to anybody. I don't get information. When I say it, it's absolutely 100% true. When everybody else says it, I don't believe it. I don't care who you are. I just don't believe it. And that's why I make a lot of people sick, because it's true for a lot of people. And I believe at a certain point, which is coming up, the one who's over you, that rules you, the one that owns your ass, truly wants you to tell the truth and repent. But you gotta repent first and then tell the truth. Or you can repent. You can do it like this. You can always, this is, in my opinion, this is Justin telling the truth, but not asking for forgiveness. But the first step in recovery is telling the truth.
Been a liar from the beginning.
I'm a liar from the beginning. You hear that?
So it's an admission, which is telling. Are you not a liar, Justin? Is that true or is it not true? Okay. Are you not admitting that you're a liar, which is the truth? So when you admit that you're a liar, now you're telling the truth. And when it's all said and done, you're free. You don't have to lie anymore, because I know that it has to bother certain people who are still lying. And all I'm doing is just, I'm your highest trained reviewer. That's the only thing I can say that I am in this world, is between various different people.
Well, maybe he's going to say that it got a.
I feel like I am your highest trained reviewer. I don't get paid for anything. I haven't even got paid in almost 3 months for Walmart video because it hasn't gotten enough views. But as you can see, everything that has a red is something that I've watched. Even if it's like that, I watched it once, I watched it twice, but 3 times to this portion. Or if I watched it once, it's so I don't even know where there's a video of Steve Manoon's that I haven't watched from at least 7 months ago, 9 months ago, 10. Everything's red except for that one. Did that one sneak up or something? Update. Maybe I didn't get to that one. Year ago, probably a year and 3 months. Some sporadic, didn't watch. Basically, all right, so around this time, so what piqued my interest in Steve Manoon on this day here? November 19th.
Good evening, friends. Stephen Benoon here with Israeli News Live, Fact News Network, and Benoon Institute. Not sure exactly where all and how much of this video will be loaded tonight on our different YouTube platforms. For the simple reason is the censorship is at an all-time high.
So a good year, 9 months. I've watched every one of Steve's videos for a year, 9 months. Derek Bros.
People like Jimmy Dore who will go live.
I've watched. I've watched a lot of the playlists too. Well, at work, listen and see everything, but heard a lot 2 years ago. It's sporadic here. 3 years ago. Oh. Yeah, so a lot of these videos. Okay, I see. These are playlist videos. So even 4 years ago, videos from 4 years, but I didn't watch it 4 years ago. I watched it within the past 2 years, but these are all the videos that I watched of Derek Bros. I mean, that's a lot of videos because look at that, Derek. Especially the last from the beginning. I've watched all these. I don't know why there's not. I remember watching them. So I'm paying attention to these people. Jonathan Click. Well, this entire channel here, everything should be red since you took over Corey Barbie's channel. And just because it has a red line doesn't mean I only watched it once. And why would I do this? Why am I watching all these people? Why am I paying so much attention when I've heard so many different people say, you're wasting your time, wasting your time. And this is just his channel after being kicked off of the main channel or, leaving that other channel. I must be learning something, because if not, boy, what a waste of time. If I haven't found anybody, and none of these people are who I believe they are, what a complete waste of life.
This place, it was Casimir and Sakaya.
May 28th, 2021. You got kicked off June 14th, well, June 13th, 2021, from your main channel. So it looks like you were starting to come over here because you knew your channel was getting cut off after 1,260 days from the time Derek Bro started his YouTube channel. Yep. Is that just an accusation, or is it true?
You know what? I'm going to enlarge it.
Yeah. So you even played that one. Where was it after?
Hunting us as food and
June 2nd. You're getting us acclimated with this channel over here. Jonathan said to go here to view latest videos. So there you go. It's a setup.
Zachariah.
So there you go. This is the first video since your YouTube channel got canned.
All right, folks. His purpose, Christ, Jesus, Yahushua, his purpose was to make one new man from the two.
The beginning has come. This shows the live miracles which were deleted by the prince of the power of the air. So who is the prince of the power of the air? Because you sure seem to have known that your channel was going to get deleted. And the timing of it, the number, 1,260 days, and then going into like another wilderness, which would be Corey Barbie's channel. It's a different avenue. Steve, I can't show you all the videos because he doesn't hold them up very long. But it's in the beginning, I watched all of them. Then when he started to come against me, I slowed down on watching because I was so sickened by, look, what is even going on? Why is this guy even coming against me now? Why is it that everybody's turning against me? What am I even doing? I'm not even part of anything. That's why I can speak the truth, because there's nothing to hide. And there's no reason. There's no promises of any sort. There's no swearing to secrecy of anything. Now, is it going to get me in trouble? Well, it may. Could it get me killed? Yeah, it probably could. But will it really? Will it really? I don't believe so. But if it does, it does. It's whatever with me. I'm just at the point where it's just so drawn out that I would love to have a conclusion. That way I can stop judging and just get to know everybody instead of trying to figure things out.
God says to him, "Would you build a house for me to dwell in? For I have not dwelled in a house since the time that I brought the children of Israel up from Egypt, even to this day, but have moved about in a tent and in a tabernacle. I've liked camping out, God said. I didn't want a permanent structure. I've liked camping out, God. Camping out.
Let's see. Okay, here we go.
21st, 2020.
The short video clip was made today, October 20th, 2020, after the Lord told me to drive to Camping World this morning because he had something to show me.
Camping.
And what he showed me that very morning? Yep, he showed me that the water can stop at 8:48 a.m.
I want to.
I'm just getting started. I'm just giving you a little teaser right now.
He showed me that he's just getting started, and he's just giving you a little teaser right now. Because in 6, 7, 8 more months, this channel is going to get shut down. And that's why I had you moving over here. And I followed you over here. I didn't have to follow you over here. I wanted to. But I don't want to follow you over there to another platform. See, YouTube is still the place. This is the university. If you go to another platform, it's like getting transferred from one school to another. Nobody knows anybody over there. I know everybody here. So get these links because you know something's getting ready to happen to this channel.
Okay, guys, God bless you guys. Welcome to This Is It 4321 Before the Fire. Listen up. This is just a check-in to give you guys these links. You must get these links right now. Get these links right now. I'm going to post a video tonight. You got to have these.
Believe him, because remember how he led you over to Corey Barbie's channel before he got his channel completely shut down, because it's by design. I don't believe that it's anything other than by design. So is it a lie? Or is it part of the script? Am I in a movie and I'm just waking up to it? And I want people to tell the truth about things, but it's a movie, stupid. It's not the way it works. You need to wait until the movie's over to get these links, because please, Abraham Lincoln, Mount Rushmore. These analytics for that video, Harold Camping's World, where the water stopped and stood still at 8:40 a.m. This video was suggested more than any video. 66.7%. A 100% of the viewers are 45 to 54 years old. So I'm relating to people, where did I go? I'm relating to people my age. I'm relating more to the women, apparently, than the men. I don't know why that is. It's crazy, right? Just in that video. Here's my revenue source for that. Just like everything else. And then from the time the video was made, it seemed to have bumped up with whatever that is, browse features, more and more. Within the past year. What you're saying is, you ladies that are my age, you really enjoy watching this video, huh? What was it about it? The water's still streaming up at that time. Not even a half a minute later, all the water stood still. Remember I said that I think on the YouTube platform and in the world, because of Ray, somebody, the god, birth god of in Gematria, is at 12/17 or 12/7/1976. I said that I feel like there's a competition going on between a bunch of people that are like 46 years old in this year. And that's the amount of people that watch this video. And the gender is mainly female. 63, 3 sixes, 0.9%, and then 3 more sixes, 0.1%. The female, they watch it 66.6% of the time, and the male Freemasons, they watch it 33.7% of the time. The very first beginning of this video, it just, my imagination is always looking for a face of a boulder to line it up with Mount Rushmore getting hit and the heads of the 4 presidents being on the ground. Because that was a really quick little flashpoint.
Instead of Christian believers, they no longer are observing the Sabbath, but living according to the Lord's day, by which our life sprung from him and by his death. Going back a little further to 80 or 90 AD, that's when we believe this document called the Didache was written. The Didache is a book called the Writings of the 12 Apostles. That book says, and on the day of our Lord's resurrection, which is the Lord's day, we meet more diligently. Now, all of the things I just read to you, all of those statements predate Constantine by between 180 to 240 years. But the real reason we meet on Sunday isn't because Ignatius did it, or because Justin Martyr said so, or
Meeting on Sunday would be September 11th, 2022. 21 years. 144. 21 years ago. It's something that changed the world and the way things were perceived about stuff.
Justin Martyr said so, or because somebody else said so. We do it because the New Testament said so. All the way back to Acts chapter 20.
Deadly last night outside
This is
the
Acts
White
20,
House.
verse 7.
Justin
It says, now
Michaels
on the
reports the Weather
first
Channel
day
report.
of the week, that's Sunday, when the disciples came together to break bread. So we understand they gathered together on the first day of the week. It says, Paul, ready to depart the next day, spoke to them and continued his message until midnight. Now, I just want to say something to you. If you get a little bit out of shape that I go 45 minutes in a Sunday sermon, feel yourself.
45 days, 45 more days. 1,290 to 1,335.
Count yourself lucky that on the first day of the week, each one should set aside a sum of money in keeping with his income. Why the first day of the week? Because that's when they got together. Why did they get together? Because of the resurrection. So think of it this way. The seventh day, Saturday, celebrates a finished creation. The first day, Sunday, celebrates a finished redemption. The seventh day, Saturday, celebrated Israel's rescue from the bondage of Egyptian slavery. The first day of the week celebrates our bondage from the slavery of sin because of the resurrection of Christ, the victory of him over death. I want to close on this question. If all this is true, and it is, by the way, if all this is true, then is the Sabbath for Christians? Should Christians keep the Sabbath? Well, yes and no. The concept is New Testament. Certainly we need a break. Humans haven't changed. People need rest. That concept is New Testament. But the Saturday Sabbath as a rule from God is not New Testament. Jesus rose from the dead on the first day of the week. And the resurrection for us is everything. It's when every promise Jesus made, we believe because that happened. That happened.
Batman Robin tease. I just decided to Google my name because Jacob was talking about it earlier. If you type in his name, it just doesn't come up on the first page or two, but a lot of the other channels, their names do pop up. So far I'm on the third channel. I haven't seen anything.
I come on here and I just share my heart. I see what's going on in the world. And
So I'm sorry, Jacob, if I offended you about it. My whole point to the matter is, if somebody has a name that's in the Bible and they claim to be that person, then, and they're part of the script world, they're like disqualified because it's a mystery. Nobody is going to have their actual character through their actual name because it's too much of a giveaway. But unlike SJD here, if I hit a nerve, I'm not LOLing about it. I'm not laughing about it. I'm just trying to explain how when I believe a script is being played out, everybody has a role. And you're also supposed to have other people believe you're somebody that you're not and get somebody else to believe somebody that they're not. Send you over to Gematria, type your name in, come up with your name, and that'll tell you who you are when you're not. And that's the way that you can just get everybody to believe in something that's not true. So they're not going to make it easy for anybody to figure something out like, oh, well, wait a minute, there's Jacob Israel right there. Well, maybe because there's a bunch of them online, but you're the only one that's connected to Derek Bros. So I lean in that direction. You're the most important Jacob Israel name on YouTube, in my view. That's why I watch your videos. But if you were Jacob Israel, yeah, maybe because you are an actual wrestler or WWE writer, so it's connected to the wrestling. It's good for the role and the story because it matches. But have you actually wrestled with God through an angel where he touched your hip and then loosened it up?
Programs that work normally a certain way quit working that way. My internet goes out. I come up with all these creative ways.
Now, do I believe that Jonathan Clegg actually has problems with his connection? Well, I believe in the script world that would be part of what has been written in the script. Whoever is in charge of the end times prophecy being literally played out, they're able to write that in. So yeah, it's possible. But is it real in the real world? Is it really happening?
To make sure I overcome all these different obstacles, and then one after another just keeps coming in to try and stop it. It's really,
because I don't know what goes on behind the scenes where this side of the people that run the entire planet, and then that side of the people that run the entire planet. They both have the best technology and defense systems as well. So when they're trying to tap in, you get an alert because of your technology that shows that they're trying to mess with your things, and then it's like a battle, it's like a war. I'm sure that has gone on behind the scenes.
Really fascinating. It's annoying as crap, but I'm not gonna just give up. I know that the powers that be would want me to just say, it's not even worth it. This information is more valuable than all the money in the world. And just change the audio systems, in my computer, my settings. I've done everything, guys. Uninstalled, reinstalled programs. Anyway, but I'm just letting you know, I'm checking in. I'm working on all this stuff right now. I find it fascinating and there's obviously a concerted effort to stop this information from coming out. They destroyed an entire YouTube channel that all the views and the views on that with the views that were on the videos as well as mirrored views are in the hundreds of millions of views. Of course, they targeted it. They destroyed it.
So what's coming up next? It looks like Jonathan Clegg is going off of the YouTube platform altogether. But that may be because it needs to happen before the second 9/11 date, because that gives you more time to gather up all the information that you've accumulated and present it to the judge. And when the judges see a T-Rex, when the judges see a witch riding on a red horse, when the judges see the man in a slave collar at the Vatican that Clark shows you, when the judges see a serpent on the top and a dragon and an eagle and a well, or the woman at the well, and a ladder, which is Jacob's, and a blue pill and a red pill from Matrix, because it's blue blood and red blood in the same area. When the judges see a great big fish at the top of a mountain, the judges will also see seaweed in the mouth of the great big fish with blood at the bottom. They'll also see a portal that they know where it goes to. It's either heaven or hell, or it's both. When the judges see blood coming down, dripping from the face of Abraham Lincoln, then those same judges, they'll see the bullet trajectory following right down where the blood is. If you see a spaceship blasting off like a time capsule, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off, 4, 3, 2, 1 before the fire. John from Denver, you made a good one. 4, 3, 2, 1. Presidents, because there's 4, 3, 2, 1 of them. Before the fire, in the mouth of the T-Rex. The presidential portrait that's drawn by Kehinde Wiley, he drew Barack Obama and a T-Rex as the presidential portrait. These are presidents. This is a portrait. There's a T-Rex. Mount Gilboa, where, from what I learned from Skip, I never heard it anywhere else besides him, that Saul, Jonathan, and the other two sons died. So Saul was beheaded, and I'm not sure about the other three. But there was 4 of them that died on Mount Gilboa. That looks like a boa constrictor type serpent snake, in my opinion. That looks like a sheep with his tongue sticking out. I don't know why it would be on his side of his head, trying to act like it's his hair. But there's the eye, and there's the other one, and there's the nose, and there's the mouth, and there's the tongue. It's open. So if you show the judges, show them beavers build dams, and the Hoover Dam that Jonathan Clegg had not said one word about, that exploded last month, then you can show them that there's a flood coming. And this looks like it's been flooded out with the water, the blue, all the way down. So I'm just trying to help with showing the judges, because it's like a point system. YouTube University is a point. It's a test. These are tests. I take these tests all the time. I take real live tests from people as well. Just in the world, tests from everybody being tested all day long. So it's no different in the YouTube University. Because I believe that I passed a lot of tests. Can you see what their intention is for you to see? What time is it when this picture was taken? Well, it's definitely in the daytime. Let me get rid of this. It's definitely in the daytime because their faces are shining. But Theodore Roosevelt, Theodore, showed the judges door 237, right behind Theodore. The direction that the sun is shining, basically you got to get rid of the shadow. When you don't see the shadow anymore on his eyes, like that, right around here, if you just go straight up, it's probably right around 12 noon, dead on. When you consider this as 4321 before the fire, and you zoom up to get the perimeter around it. Down here, this area. Now I can find where that is. You just go down to the ground around it. It's all red and it looks like fire. It looks like it's an actual fire in the woods and everything. Like fire being spread out. And the wall of that fire goes around. You see this whole, is that a beaver? Is that the nose and the eye and the other eye and the ear up there? Is that a beaver building a dam? So the fire is all around this creature here, this entire landscape. This whole area here. Mount Rushmore is right in this area. It sure is starting to look like a beaver standing up like this, with his feet to the ground like that, and his hands down there on fire. All the way around it, but not in the front of it, because the fire isn't there yet. Why would a beaver build a dam? Maybe because, I don't know, if there is a fire, like this guy here, he looks like he's on fire holding a club up in his hand, and the other one, if there is a fire, if a beaver builds a dam and then lets it go to put the water out or put the fire out, that could be it. There's his eye. All you gotta do is find the eye and work your way around to the rest of it. This beaver is on fire. And let me find Mount Rushmore. So here's a clear picture of where Mount Rushmore is. After you've seen that whole perimeter, the beaver that builds dams. He is right about upper chest. Upper chest area. Maybe that's his heart. Maybe that's his heart. I don't know. Maybe it's in his chest. Could be his heart. That looks like a miniature beaver. Little guy. Or a little character. Never looked at this before. Maybe there's 12 of them. Doesn't that look like it's already a target as it is? Mount Rushmore from above. Is this some kind of water system? Letting water out? Even this whole area here has kind of an orange tint to it, but not as prominent as. And there's so many images there. Not even as prominent as this though. Where basically there's his foot coming down, his leg, his back, ankle, and he's going through the fire. He's on fire. And he looks like he is not playing around. all the way in his back. Remember, there's his eye. His head. That's even starting to look like his mouth as he's grinning, the smile. His feet. Somewhere around his heart area. Is Mount Rushmore. Tell you what, this beaver here sure looks like a brave beaver. Looks like he's facing the water monster. And he's standing tall, he's on fire. He ain't playing games. He's marching forward, staring him up, looking like a soldier. Could even be facing this creature first, because it looks like he's pointing at it like, get him! Get him, little Squidward! Pointing at him. Either way, he doesn't look fazed whatsoever. But it looks like there's an army behind him, facing the creepy water monster. See the king's face, like the eye here, the nose? He's walking, his neck. Kind of got a big belly. His legs down here, his arm in the back. Maybe it's a armor suit. Got a crazy looking animal here with a long nose, the eye here, the ear on that side. Yeah, the crown up on the head. Is that a Dorothy's shoe? Or is it a crown? So the whole entire planet was designed to look like something because it was created out of artwork from above, purposed to look this way. Like, how brilliant is that to be able to do that? How did you guys get it to look orange? Just, oh, I see. I see how it might have happened. When you guys planted the trees from the very beginning, you planted all evergreens in here, and then during the winter time, during the fall, it turned orange, the ones that were dying out. So what you guys did was you planted all of those trees around the perimeter, and you took the Google image in the fall time in order to get that fire look from all those trees that were purposely planted around this beaver.
2-2 with the bases loaded and one out. Deep to right field, way up there and way out of here.
What's in the box, huh? What do you got in the box? You got God in the box? It's a golden box. This also looks like it's in the winter because it looks like it's snow on the mountains or on the trees. So that also backs up that grand slam that Price just hit for me. Fire time, the fall, the leaves of the trees, purposely planted all the way around the beaver to give it that look. Now, could be a bear standing up. I'm sure I'll look at it and I might find something else with it. But right off the bat, has a beaver's look. And I believe the chains have been broken off. Or is he in chains? Is he carrying the chains? Now, also a badge, a police officer's badge, a sheriff, a deputy. He has handcuffs in his hand. Right in this direction here. That's where Mount Rushmore is, right here. So it's like it's in the badge. Right in the front. And he's coming to arrest. The big bad sea monster, Stephen James Sean, who lives in Michigan.
That's
God,
right.
deep
To right field, way up there and way out of here.
Say it, but I must have hit a nerve.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, it even has. He kind of looks like you too, Steve. Over here, you got a sheep smiling. And you're even pointing directly. All you got to do, if anybody wants to know where Mount Rushmore is without a map, just look for SJD. Look at where he's pointing. He has a big nose like Pinocchio because he's a liar. So just find the direction that he's pointing. You're going to see a squiggly little thing over here. And it's the Beaver deputy. It's the sheriff deputy. It's one of them. And he's coming with his badge. And in his badge, he has Mount Rushmore. Oh, man. Beavers build dams. I'll be damned if that doesn't look like a beaver. On the man with two faces. George Washington, the headquarters, the head of the quarter of the YouTube platform would be George Washington. Because he also has a dead sheep behind his ear. And same thing as the new quarter, you have In God We Trust, which now has his back. Because before 2021 quarter, he's in the other direction. In God We Trust is underneath of his mouth. Maybe that's what he was saying out of his mouth. You can say he turned his back on God, or you can say God has his back. Because this is a transformed George Washington, who is the head of a quarter, which is the headquarters of Mount Rushmore, YouTube University, South Dakota. You know how I found this? what I just showed you, the beaver and everything, those home runs, it's because when Kim Jong said, take a look at the timing of the sun, basically, I don't even know where you said it at, but you said it. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me go to Mount Rushmore. Let me look at the shadow. Because it's important, because 12 noon time's up. So why wouldn't it be a shadow? And so I look at the shadow of the eyes on the only one that it shows is Theodore Roosevelt. So that gave me the idea to look at the top and see, all right, well, there it goes. So then if I'm the sun and I'm looking at it from right there, there's no shadow. There's a shadow there, but not here. There's no shadows anywhere else. So I would just go up. Remember, that was Kim Jong. And from that point on, I see this little piglet. Looks like a little piggy in that direction. So it's inside the piggy, down at the bottom of the mouth, if you want to find Mount Rushmore from the sky without knowing where any of it is. It could be a bull. Take for yourself a bull. So the nose being in this direction, the mouth, all the way at the bottom of the chin, you'll see Mount Rushmore. You'll see 4, 3, 2, 1. Before the fire.
Welcome to This Is It 4, 3, 2, 1 Before the Fire. Guys, I am trying diligently to get these vids out. I want you to look at something. Like, you see all these all windows of stuff that I'm adding to organize one folder to just show you. I'm going to show you all these images. Isn't it fun?
So I got lost. So here's a good example. Let me find Steve. So he's pointing over there. You're going to see a little squiggly thing. There he goes. There's a squiggly thing. There's a snake right behind him. And there's the beaver. So you take a look at the beaver. Then you go down to look for the bull piggy looking thing from this direction. And then go down to the mouth all the way to the back bottom portion of his neck. And then you'll find 4, 3, 2, 1 Before the Fire, where the presidential portrait of Barack Obama has a T-Rex on it. There's the nose. Even has the tail. Not the tail. But why would that be a pig? And inside of the mouth of it are the 4 presidents, where there's a bull. It's like the 450 false prophets. They chose a bull for themselves. And in order to make Mount Rushmore, they had to remove 450,000 tons of granite, I think it is. So you're in the mouth. Mount Rushmore is in the mouth of a hog. I mean, does it look like any other animal? I'm trying to look for a bull, but I just can't see it. I see more of a pig. Looks like his hat is blown off of him too. So obviously, what I'm trying to see here is this a good guy or a bad guy? The beaver. Because I know over here in Michigan, this here, like Cain, the tiller of the land, growing, producing fruit. This definitely has a king's look to him. The crown, the nose. Standing up. Foot down here. Leg. I think it's a kangaroo. Look at the big feet down here. The arm in the back. The eye up here. Carrying this in its belly. Like a pouch. Almost like carrying the king. I think a werewolf with its fangs here, its mouth, and the eye. But then coming back more, there's a beast at the top of that. Looks like it's this one here. Looks like it's throwing something in its mouth, like this is its hand. Definitely eating, like devouring something. This could be the ear of another creature, and the head, and the eye here, and like hair over its hair over, almost like a bandana or a tie wrapped around the nose. Eye there. Now this eye here, this one here, like the Goonies. Hey, you guys. Then it also looks like an eye that's bulged out or maybe plucked out. It's down too, the same way sloth's eye is down like that. The other one's open. Is that why you say you're the aquarium, Steve? Because you're the sea monster coming up from out of the sea? Sea monster coming up from out of the sea. Fighting with a little beaver with the king behind him. But I'm not sure. Doesn't look too good with this werewolf chomping down. Almost looks like it's debris. Could be the debris of this king. Maybe this king is getting eaten alive. This little baby elephant here. Nah, he doesn't look like he's bothered by anything because he's standing up. This foot here doesn't look like he's taken back by anything. And maybe it's just the fact that he has this beast behind him who has his back, who has the beaver's back, and everybody from the west. So they're coming from the west, meeting the sea creature that's rising up from the east. Look at this one. Werewolf. He's got to line up the eyes. See the eye right where that circle is? I don't have the pointer. And over in that direction. Lined up perfectly. Right there. And that's frightening. What's going on here over in Mount Rushmore? Remember, Mount Rushmore is inside of this beaver. He's inside of the little piggy bank in the mouth of the little piggy, where 4321 blast off is before the fire, and it's before T-Rex presidential portrait. The wounded head of Abraham and Mount Rushmore and Mount Moriah, Abraham sacrificing Isaac on the mountain. The event. With the bull and the other vampire with the fang over here and there. The nose, the big face, the eye, the ear, the hair, the big face, the mouth. Hanging out with the bull. So why would that be a little piglet? Could be, I mean, from here, if that's a claw, it could be a rat. Now I'm seeing the claw. Either way, it's attached to this beaver who is on fire, who looks like he's on fire, heading forward, coming after SJD over in Michigan. So are you supposed to see, and I saw a beast coming up out of the sea, having 10 horns, and I don't know, I don't see anything going up on his crown, his head here, besides antennas. These two antennas. Which could be the bug of the above ground race meeting with Satan in that commercial. But did I see a beast rising up out of the sea? And did I see another one coming up from out of the earth? This one's coming up from out of the earth. And this one's coming up from out of the sea. And a dragon stood on the sand of the seashore. Dragon standing on the sand of the seashore. He's standing the sand because he's like He's all the way in the back, standing on the sand of the seashore. The tail. It's definitely something vicious looking. Then I saw a beast coming up out of the sea. I've seen a beast here coming up out of the sea because the water's over here. And as he's made out of water, Aquaman, the sign of the aquarium. He's coming up from out of the sea because he is the underground sea monster who has like an army of people underwater in their submarines, or even underwater where they live, and there's another land somewhere it's a city that is underwater, but you can't tell because you're just walking normally like we are. It may even have a sun going around it too, but it's underwater. And here's the sea creature coming up from out of the sea. I don't know about the crown on the head. 10 crowns. Not really looking like a crown. And on his head were 10 diadems. On his head were blasphemous names. Definitely, I can relate to Stephen James Sean over there for this one, because he's even in Michigan. Blasphemous names. Sea creature coming up from out of the sea of humanity. First one came against me, part of the group of Peter, James, John, and Jesus in the world. And I saw a beast, which was like a leopard, and his feet were like those of a bear. And his mouth like that of someone who's lying. I mean, lying. Yeah, lying in a manger. And the dragon gave him his power and his throne and great authority. All right, well, the dragon gave him his authority. So the dragon being Satan, giving someone the authority. But then someone who is known as Satan, the dragon, has given somebody else authority. And I saw on his head as it had been slain, like by the word of God. When I said Elijah slew them with the word of God, Stephen James Deshawn, it made him sick because I said that people can get slain with just words. And his fatal wound was healed, which means he had a change of heart. And the whole earth, because this is what the whole earth is, the whole earth. So the whole earth was amazed at the sea creature coming up from out of the sea. Look at that beast coming up, standing on the sand of the seashore. I don't know what kind of shoes they are, but and the earth was amazed and followed after the beast. They worshipped the dragon because he gave his authority to the beast, the deputy. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like the beast, and who's able to make war with a leading head United States top Luciferian gang stalker, vicar of Lucifer, in charge of the United States? Who is able to make war with him? There was given him a mouth, speaking arrogant words and blasphemies, and authority to act for 42 months was given to him. He opened his mouth in blasphemies against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, that is, those who dwell in heaven. It was given to him to make war with the camp of the saints, his own people, and to overcome them, because the whole world's deceived. And authority over every tribe and people and tongue and nation was given to him. and all who dwell on the earth will worship him.
Hate to say it, but
these images, isn't it fascinating? One folder to just show you. I'm going to show you all these images. Isn't it fascinating that as I'm producing all this stuff, I run into one equipment problem after another.
It's all, but just to give you an idea where his face is, and then down here where his legs are, and then in between, so his shoulder, arm, front, chest, and his suit may have AI mixture in there. It may have that electricity going on inside of his body. The king right here with the crown, standing tall, front leg here, left leg here, right leg here, his foot down there. Some kind of animal. I can't quite see which one that is, but the eye is definitely there, and the nose here. You can even see the pupil. Look at that. All the way around. And that's what makes the eyeball. This is all done when there's snow and fall to give it that red look. Is this really what our Earth looks like, or are you just guys just showing stuff? Because it seems too amazing to actually be all these designs, and it's not just artwork from Google Earth. Anyway, all those who dwell on the earth worship him. I've experienced that too. Everyone whose name has not been written from the foundation of the world in the book of life of the Lamb who had been slain. This picture here, it's almost like it was meant to fit in place and to continue the design of the color of the rocks that flows down right there. Perfect fit. Right where his face is. If anyone is taken captive, then he's going to go. If anyone is to be slain with the word must he be slain then. Here is the patience and faith of the saints, the beast out of the earth. Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth. As this one is, the design of it is developing from the earth and rising. The earth rose up in order to make these designs up in these mountain areas. And this one is coming up out of the sea. So I personally saw a beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, but he spoke as a dragon.
Well, I heard the Lord tell me, Jonathan, I'm coming. I'm like, well, my goal or my job for the kingdom was to blow the shofar, announce the arrival of Lord, warn everybody. When I started my ministry, the Lord told me go open that Bible because I didn't want to go tell everybody Obama was the Antichrist because I was in court, and I said they're going to think I'm a lunatic, and I'm fighting for custody of my kids, and the Lord told me go open the Bible And I did what he said. I opened the Bible, and it was Ezekiel 3, the watchman's call, and it said, if the watchman seeth the sword coming, and he warneth not the people, and they die in their iniquity, and I will hold the watchman personally responsible, his blood for theirs. But if the watchman seeth the sword coming, and he bloweth the trumpet, and warn the people, and they heed not the warning, then their iniquity and their sin is upon their own head. That's what got me actually out in the public. That, when I read that, I was like, okay, I don't care what it is. I'll go show anyone whatever you want. I don't want to be responsible for their blood. And so then, like I said, I walked into that restaurant and it said 3, 2, 1, blast off. Okay, so I came home and I said, Lord, so anyway, I heard the Lord tell me I'm coming. Get ready, prepare yourselves. And I was like, okay, that's pretty heavy. And so then, like I said, I walked into that restaurant and it said 3, 2, 1, blast off. Okay, so
the space capsule, capture the soul. 4, 3, 2, 1 before the fire. Capsule. Before this fire. Around this beaver man, officer. His feet are on fire. And he is pissed. So dragons have tails. And if you're standing over here, you're literally standing on the sand of the seashore. The dragon stood on the sand of the seashore. Dragon, the tail. So the other beast that's coming up out of the earth, he is exercising all the authority of the first beast in his presence. So they both know each other. And he makes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose fatal wound was healed. And does he look like he has a head wound? Maybe. Maybe something blown out like that. Right in its head. Right here. The bullet wound. Over in that direction. With that being, he's like walking. His one arm's up the front, the other one's in the back. His feet in the back there. With a fatal wound to the head. It's not, well, it doesn't look like a head wound, does it? Oh, no, not when it's blue blood. Not when it's blue blood. Opposed to red blood. If I can find you, I'll show you on the map a place that reminds me of the Matrix. After I show you the Beetle, or Mick Jagger is right here. There's his head. There's his head on a stick with the bug right here. The mouth and the tongue. But there's a division between the blue bloods and the red bloods. He looks like he's a deputy. He has a badge. The police, red and blue. The Matrix, blue pill, red pill. Where did the design go? There it goes. Get back into its original form. So that would be blue blood through the head. Because it even looks exploded, doesn't it? Has an explosion look to it. Right in the back of the head. So if you just go back over to Mount Rushmore and you head towards the pig and his mouth, you'll see another wounded head of Abraham Lincoln. So he has a wounded head. But this one is the red-blooded one because blood is coming out of his head that was wounded. Opposed to the blue blood, Aquaman, the antenna, alien. He exercised all the authority of the first beast in his presence, same type of authority, and he makes the earth and those that dwell in it to worship the first beast whose fatal wound was healed. He performs great signs so that he even makes fire come down out of heaven to the earth in the presence of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth because of the signs which it was given to him to perform in the presence of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who had the wound of the sword and has come to life. To make an image of the beast, the one who had a wounded head and has come to life. Or you can make the image of the other beast who has a wounded head and didn't live, even though he still did. Abraham Lincoln never died after, he was born first time. He had a wounded head. But you can also consider Abraham sacrificing Isaac. That is the wounded head, because he's going to present him to the world. And it was given him to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast would even speak and cause many who do not worship the image of the beast to be killed. And he will cause all those small, rich, great, poor, free men, slaves, to be given a mark on the right hand or in their forehead, so that no man might buy or sell except for the one who has the mark in your forehead, if you want to take it literal, either the name of the beast, so in gematria, you would need the number of his name. Here's wisdom, let him who understandeth calculate the number of the beast, for the number is that of a man. So it's a man. This beast, the number, either the name or the number, being 666 is man. Because when you're converted, inverted, and it's said that you become male, female, 1000%, 2/3 is man. Because you're not complete according to that script. So you got to have the number of the name, either one of them. But which beast are you talking about? 4, 3, 2, 1 before the fire. I mean, Stephen James has shown the revelation of Jesus Christ. Stephen James Sean claims he is Jesus Christ or King David. I know one or the other. But 4321, the Messiah reveals himself with gematria, the universal language of God. Be still, Robin Henry Tees, and know that I am Adam ben David, Prince of Judah. So which one, who? Who, is it 202? Or is it 1212? Oh no, it's 1867. See, I remember your number right off the top of my head, Stephen James DeShawn. 1867 would be the Jewish number of this beast. 1212, 202. Is this the man that holds the key of David? Are his mighty works complete? Is he a spiritual targeted individual? Adam ben David, Prince of Judah. So you told me to stay still. And you're saying that I am Yeshua the Messiah, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. The root of David has been hidden from the people. I am dealt a deadly blow to the cabal. So that's a deadly wound, blow. A blow is a wound. Son Adam and David. So all that stuff written about you as one beast. If you're a man and that's your number, and that's your name, or (888), absolutely. Lord Christ, the second coming, Jonathan Click. 888, Jonathan Click. So I've always seen it as, this ain't the first time I did a name drop on both of the beasts that I think is in one of the ways of being played out. Is Stephen James, because he came up first. He came up first against me. In order to get a wounded head, he would have to have been the first beast. But then the second one's coming up, and he's causing all those to worship the first beast because that host body system. Steve's like a tiller of the land, like Cain, and Kleck is like Abel, like the lamb, and that has two horns like a lamb, but it really speaks like a dragon because it's that language. And he had made everybody worship the first beast in his presence. But the dragon that stood on the sand of the seashore is the one that gave him his power. Like the fiery serpent tail. And then it can be known as Satan. Just literally Satan, the spirit, gave him his power, which would make him first in charge, if that was the case. If it's the dragon in the system, and the dragon, that person with the YouTube channel, gave him his power, then he's the deputy. Let there be light. I've never thought in a million years that I'd be able to find something on the map from outer space without any actual direction to find a place like Mount Rushmore. I'll never need to punch in to have the titles, the letters on Google Maps ever again to find Mount Rushmore. Because all I got to do is just open up the earth, open it up, straighten it out, aim straight for the little area there in the pig's mouth, and find that bull. It also looks like a dinosaur over here in Florida, coming out with the mouth wide open. Eye right there. Coming up from out of the sea. It looks like it's running up. It's like running uphill. Is that definitely, that looks like a beast. And it looks like it's coming up out of the sea. Literally coming up out of the sea. While this one is like a sea creature coming up from the sea. This one's coming up from out of the sea. What does it say? I saw a beast coming up out of the sea. Out of the sea. I might have to change it to this beast here coming up out of the sea. There's even, it's like bubble tracks from where he sped up and ran from. He could be riding like a submarine down there. The tail of it. This area here, this portion. Taking it for a ride. But then running up on the land from the sea, coming up out of the sea.
I heard the Lord tell me I'm coming. Get ready, prepare yourselves. And